guys, welcome back to another episode of Drama Juseyo. So, normally we talk about dramas. Today, we're gonna talk about a movie because I finally watched Train to Busan last night, and oh my god, that movie stressed me out like none other. It was crazy. So if you're one of the two people in this world who have not seen this movie, the title's pretty self-explanatory. They're on a train, they're going to Busan. But essentially it's a zombie movie, and that's kind of why I hadn't watched it. But I found out that there is a studio who's picked it up to do an English-American remake, and it just went on Netflix, and every one of their brothers has been telling me I need to watch this movie, and there's references everywhere, and finally I'm like, you know what? I need to watch this. So if you haven't seen it, I'm obviously going to talk about it, so you need to go watch the movie. It's on Drama Fever, it's on Netflix, all subtitled. Eventually we'll get an American remake, and then come on back and we're going to talk about it. So, see you after you've seen it. So, bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Have you seen it? Okay, good. So, first of all, can we talk about Gong Yoo's acting in this, because he was phenomenal. So as we all know, he obviously played the dad figure in this movie, and he wasn't like the most attentive person in the entire world, and I'm not saying he wasn't a good dad. He obviously wanted to do right by his daughter, but when he bought her that Wii and she's like, I already have one, I just shook my head. I already knew what was gonna happen the second she opened the present and saw that. I'm like, she already has one. And she does. But it's her birthday the next day, and she's gonna go see her mom, and they get on the train to go off. And as they're loading up the train, the first zombie girl gets on the train. And you know what? This whole thing could have been avoided if that stupid attendant was paying attention to what was going on. Because he was not paying attention, she got on, she bit the first person, and this thing spread so fast. I was actually kind of surprised how quickly this virus spread to everybody, but it was crazy. A lot of this movie to me was, this could have been avoided if different decisions had been made. They shouldn't have gotten off the station when they were in, I can't remember the name of the station, Daegwang, I can't remember, but the station that they were stopping at, they really should have just stayed on the train until they realized that no help was coming, because, I mean, Gong Yoo found out already from his colleague that it was going to be a quarantine area. And as soon as he found that out, I understand that he was trying to save himself and his daughter, but at the same time, he also needs to think about the group too, that so many more people could have been saved if they had never gotten off that train, if they had just switched trains, if they just tried to go to Busan originally. Nobody knew what they were about to walk into, and that massacre that happened was ridiculous. And the COO, who we meet, I can't remember when we meet him, but when we meet him, he's a jerk too. He is just like, as long as I'm saved and I survive all of this, who gives a flying crap about the rest of you? I wanted him to be a zombie way faster than he ever became one. And I felt really bad for Gong Yoo's character later on, because although I think he got the right ending, at the same time I don't think he deserved that ending, because as he started to morph in his character, as he started to grow and go, okay, like, we need each other to survive, I felt like he finally understood. But at the same time, when his colleague called him and said, hey, our company, the biotech company that caused all of this is the primary reason why all of this is happening, I was like, I understood the ending at that point. That essentially, I don't know, I wish they explained a little bit more about his like role in all of this, but the way the movie set it up, it seemed like it was primarily his fault that all of this was happening. But when he ended up being becoming a zombie at the end, I kind of understood it. And that scene, before he fell off the back of the train, just destroyed me. I was like, I didn't cry because I knew what was gonna happen, because someone spoiled me. Thanks a lot, Hello Talk, because all of the people on there were chit-chatting about it, and that finally was like, I need to just go watch it, so I stopped being spoiled. But I already knew what was gonna happen at the end, so I kind of went into this movie already I've seen the future. But like, big parts that kind of stood out, I felt really bad for the baseball player when they got on the cart where all of his friends had been turned. Because I was like, dude, you gotta stop thinking of them as your friends. They're not your friends anymore. They want to kill you. They want to kill you. You need to help the rest of them. But at the same time, like, if it was my teammates, my family member, and I was staring face to face with them and I had to beat them up with a baseball bat, I don't know if I could have done it. I don't know. That is like a situation you don't know how you're going to react until you're in that situation. So I felt awful for him. I'm glad that the big tough guy, the one who was going to be having the baby, and Gong Yu's character finally like started to get along. Oh my god, and that part when they were in the bathroom area after they'd heard his ringtone, and he was like, how is it tacky? How do you change it? I was like, oh my god. I was like, thank God for a little bit of humor pieces in this, because this whole movie is like freaking intense the whole way through. And when the train was up over them, like when the flaming train came through, when they were at the station, are they at the station? And it flipped over on them. Oh my god, I was like, they're all gonna die, and there's just zombies everywhere, and really could have been a lot of situations that could have been avoided simply by listening to each other and having better planning, and stop trying to fight with each other over who deserves to live and who deserves to die, and whether or not someone's infected. And when the final group were together, so the final group was basically the baseball player, the cheerleader, the pregnant lady, the homeless guy, the Gong Yu, and his daughter. When those final people were in the very front of the train, and I was like, okay, these are the ones that are going to survive. To see it all be dwindled down to two, and at the very end, the pregnant woman and I think her name is Soo-an were almost shot. So I was like, if they die, I'm going to freak. But I thought it was really nice that the way they were ultimately saved was her singing that song. It's a Hawaiian song. I thought it was very appropriate that she sang "Until We Meet Again." And that little girl's acting when she thought she was going to lose, when she knew she was going to lose her father. There was no thought. She knew she was going to lose her father. She did such a good job. It broke my heart. Broke my heart to see her just absolutely get destroyed because her daddy was about to die. And for it to be the COO who ultimately was the reason why her father became a zombie, like, he was almost free. He almost made it, and it was at the last minute that he dies. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. This movie, guys, I know this isn't a very coherent discussion, but this movie is absolutely fantastic. I didn't think I was going to like a zombie movie, but I think it's actually one of my favorite movies I've ever seen, and I watched it like last night. So I know it wasn't super coherent, But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I know that our discussion video didn't go up on Sunday, and if you want to see why, I'll link the video somewhere or in the description down below. And we will see you probably Wednesday, but definitely on Sunday. So I'll see you soon. Okay? Okay? Goodbye.
Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please feel free to give it a like. If you would like, you can subscribe to our channel. And if you want to check out our last week's discussion video, click somewhere on the screen because it'll be somewhere up here. And we will see you guys next time. Okay, bye. Not really bye, but bye.